Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jamison. I am a stay-at-home mom of 2 kiddos. I have a daughter who is 2 years old and a son who will be 6 months in just a couple days. And today we are doing a playroom clean and declutter. And so this is a little bit different than some of my declutters. If you've watched some of my videos before, you know that I am not afraid to get rid of things, and I'm not super attached to things, especially like clothing. I can get rid of stuff super easy, but this clean and declutter is really just I'm flipping the toys in this playroom and changing it over so it's a little more interesting and exciting for my daughter. We keep toys housed in our basement in Rubbermaid containers, and so I am just doing a toy room swap. My daughter's birthday was the day after I was filming this, and so I wanted to do the swap and kind of create some empty space, so if she got any new toys for her birthday, that we would have this space to put them and we wouldn't just be shoving new things with the old things. So first things first, I need to collect all of the toys that are just scattered around the toy room and on the main floor of our house and get all of it put away so that I can bring out the extra toys and decide what we would like to keep out. So the reason that we keep some toys put away in the basement and we don't keep everything out is, one, that we just don't have the space, period, up here, and so it would just be a disaster and a cluttered mess. But two, if my daughter has too many options, she just will choose not to play with anything, and so by limiting her choices, she actually plays with things better. And then also by keeping things put away for chunks of period at a time and then bringing them back out, she actually has more interest in the items once you bring them back out if she hasn't seen them in a while. So now that everything's reset and put back in its rightful place, I'm going to be bringing things out of the basement and trying to switch things over. So I'm first switching this basket. It has toys for my son in here. I try and keep a basket for him and then also a separate basket for my daughter full of knickknacks, just so I'm, always grabbing age-appropriate toys for him and trying to make sure I'm, helping his development as much as possible. But things get mixed up and that's just life. But I've noticed that if I have a specific place for things and I'm not just shoving things, then it's easier to stay organized and to know which toys are for him and where everything belongs. So I went through his basket and decided which things I want to keep out and which toys I'm going to put away, and now I'm going through the toy bin that was in the basement and deciding which things I want to pull out for him and which things I'm going to keep put away. So some of these items are things that I know he's developmentally not ready for yet, or other items we might have gotten a new toy that does sort of the same thing that we have out that we already like, and so I'm not going to get 2 toys that essentially do the same thing out. And then I'm going to put all the toys that we're not going to be using at this time back in this bin to stay in the basement, and then we'll pull it back out in a couple months and see what we'd like to swap. But I am going to put all those toys that we're keeping out for my son Jax back in this basket so they're ready to go when it's time to play with them. So watching this back, I realized that my daughter is beyond blessed with people who like to gift her things and spoil her, and We have a ridiculous amount of toys, but it was fun. You'll see she actually wakes up while I'm going through all of these toys, and it was so fun to see her get so excited about things she hasn't seen in a while. Oh, I wanted to show you here too, like these are some things that we have in the basement that she really has liked and enjoyed, but we're keeping them down here so when we pull them out she likes them again, or like those walkers she's not ready for. So that down there was a ball pit, and here's a little tent, and we've got some outdoor toys. So many things that we have down here that we'll pull back out when it's the appropriate season or maybe at a different time. And then here is where I house those Rubbermaid containers. But back upstairs, I'm now going through the items that we have out currently for her and deciding what we're going to keep out, and then I will go back to the bins like I did earlier with Jack's toys and decide which ones I want to pull out and which ones we're going to keep put away. There are so many fun toys that my daughter has that she loves to play with, but I do believe that sometimes there's too much out and she gets a little overwhelmed or gets decision fatigue and then just doesn't know what to play with. So I'm excited to put some things away and not have as much out so that she's able to really see what she's got out and what she wants to play with. I also wanted to mention that I did complete this in one day. I started when my kids went down for their nap and then just continued to power through as they were waking up. So my husband was home. This was a weekend day, so that was very helpful. I would not have been able to complete this while watching both my kiddos, but because I started during their nap time and they took great naps and my husband was home to help with them when they woke up, I was able to get this done. But it did take a couple hours, I'd say like 3 to 4 hours, and so you do need to carve out quite a bit of time if you're going to do this. And it was helpful that I had all the toys that I wanted to swap already in their specific bins and I knew where to look. But even though this takes quite a bit of time, it's gonna save me time in the long run because my daughter is going to be able to independently play with her things longer, and she's going to not need my support as much because she's more invested in these new toys that aren't necessarily new, but they feel new to her because they've been put away for a while. So the current toys have been gone through, the cabinets are wiped down, and we're ready for the new toy transition. So I'm going through the toys that have been put away and deciding what to keep out and what we're going to put away. So we clearly don't need any more toys, but I am curious if you have a 2-year-old or you're around a 2-year-old, what is your favorite toy or activity for them to do? And if you have 6-month-olds around you, what's their favorite toy or activity to do? I'm always looking for new things that I can make or get for my kiddos that can, spark curiosity and help their development. So now I am putting the toys that I've decided to keep out back on the shelf, and I don't really have a plan as I'm starting this, except that I want to keep like things together. So markers, crayons, drawing, kind of those kind of craft activities I'm keeping together, and then I'm just kind of seeing what else I can group together. So there's a vet kit and a little taking care of a dog kit for my daughter, so I'm keeping those together. And then I really am trying to think through like what I want to put on these middle shelves because they don't have doors, so I like to make sure that this is very seamless and basic, and I mean as cute as it can be with kids' toys, just because you are always staring at it, so why not make it cute? So I did move this piano in the middle shelf up from the bottom shelf to the middle shelf because I wanted to keep the musical instruments together. So I do try to group things like that, but really I just try and find a spot that it fits and looks okay. So yes, I did all that work, and my daughter wakes up and she empties the shelf, but that's okay because she's touching these toys and she's playing with these toys, and that's what we want. So while Josie's playing with her food truck, I'm going through the stuffed animals, and I am going to put away the stuffed animals that she doesn't really touch or enjoy and get other stuffed animals back out. She is obsessed with dogs, and so if it's a dog, we're likely going to keep it out because she likes to pretend to walk them. She uses her vet kit on them. She is obsessed with dogs and has been from a very young age, and I think having such a sweet dog that we do, that's really helped. So now she is helping, I guess you can say, go through the stuffed animals and book bin. So I want to also change out her books just because she loves reading. So when we have a basket of books, we read them many times, and she's not going for the books and pulling them as much, and so I just want to add some new things just to keep her curiosity piqued. So this is much easier when you're doing this when your kids are not sleeping, or when your kids are not with you, so either sleeping or somewhere different, because you'll see that I'm actually putting stuffed animals back into the bin, and then Josie starts to pull them out, which is kind of funny. But sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and so she woke up and I wanted to finish this task, and it ended up working out just fine. Okay, so you're probably wondering why I'm digging back through a bin of toys that I've decided are going back downstairs. But Jared made a good point and mentioned that Josie's books in her room also could use a swap, so I figured her toys could use a swap upstairs as well, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm going through this bin and deciding what are things I would like to put in a basket that we keep in her room, so if we're ever up there and she's needing to do something, that she has a bin of toys that she'd be interested in. So here we are in Josie's room, and I'm just wiping down her 6-cube organizer and swapping out her toys and her books. I am just smiling watching these back. I'm gonna be so happy that I have these memories with Josie, and hopefully Jack's, when he's more active, just on camera, so that I can remember this when they're older and really relive these little times with them. So here's an overview of Josie's room, and now I am finishing up the main floor. Thank you so much for being here and watching this video. It means so much to me that you decided to click on this video and watch it. I appreciate it so much, and make sure you come back next week for another video. I love doing baking and organizing and different kind of home things and just certain things to take care of my home and stay home with my babies. So be sure to check back next week. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.